Whatever kind of night you're having, start it off right with Drizzly, the go-to app for drink delivery. Whether you're mixing up a bullet bourbon old-fashioned for a cozy night in, or Kettle One Bloody Mary bar for a birthday brunch, you can get the perfect beer, wine, and spirits for any occasion delivered with Drizzly. So,
what's it gonna be?
Download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com to choose your drinks today. Must be 21 plus, not available in all locations.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this football season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of statistics, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and an enormous selection of players and stat options are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million football fans who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/get100 and use code GET100. That's code GET100 at prizepicks.com/get100 for a first deposit match up to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
Shop the Plato's Closet Black Friday event in North Charleston and West Ashley and let the deals begin. You know Plato's Closet always has a huge selection of trendy recycled styles at amazing prices, but Black Friday deals are different. They're better. We've been holding back some of our best inventory, and you won't want to miss our Black Friday event. Save on gently used styles from Patagonia, Lululemon, Lilly Pulitzer, and hundreds of popular brands. Plato's Closet is ready to let the Black Friday deals begin. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome back to Three Terrible Gamers. I'm here with Colin. This is episode 50.
Holy crap, hey, we're getting up there. Hey guys.
Yeah, it's hard to believe 50 episodes. That's a lot. This is starting to record it a couple days late. My power was out all weekend, so we're doing it on a Monday and it releases tomorrow. But we'll go ahead and jump into it. Classic Call of Duty servers shut down for the Wii and DS.
I can't believe Activision promised something they can't keep. I'm joking on that, by the way, because it was just so that wasn't Activision. Activision still held up their end with the deal so far, but Nintendo just don't support those servers anymore or those systems. So Nintendo's fault is the reason why the Call of Duty servers won't work on the Wii and DS after Call of Duty was like, oh yeah, we're going to bring it to the Nintendo systems. Like I said, Activision done their part, but well, I guess technically Microsoft done their part on this, but it's just Nintendo don't have any support. Like we was mentioning, last week about the Wii U, so they're not even really focused on those systems. So, let alone something that's a generation before the Wii U.
Right. I mean, the Wii's 17 years old now, so I mean, it's sad to see, but I mean, it's about time. You know, this time's eventually going to happen. But yeah, it says a number of classic Call of Duty games appear to have gone permanently offline on select Nintendo platforms, making it impossible for players to join up for multiplayer matches or engage in any online activity. Though most Call of Duty fans have moved on from these titles, the fact that some of their most important features are now unavailable is not great news. It says, specifically, all the Call of Duty games on Nintendo Wii and Nintendo DS systems have now gone offline, according to reports. Charlie Intel managed to get Activision to chime in on the issue, only to discover that the source of the problem is the discontinuation of the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection service on the Wii, DS, and DSi consoles. Call of Duty titles released on the reference platform used Wi-Fi connection service for their online features, and its sunsetting means that games' respective multiplayer components are now dead in the water. So, so any Call of Duty games that were released on the Wii, DS, and DSi consoles will no longer work. And it's not just Call of Duty, it's any online game that you would play on those, because it's Nintendo's side, not Activision's, like Colin said.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things. Yeah, it's sad to see that it comes to an end, but what? For the Wii and DS, there was only MW3 and Black Ops, wasn't there? If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
Those are the two I only remember anyways. I didn't think they
It's
had
the
done
only
like
two
anything
I've
miniature.
played on
Yeah.
system. I mean, I played Black Ops 1 the most on the Wii, which the most I played that game was obviously on the 360, but I did play it on the Wii, and it was fun to be able to point the Wii remote and shoot and stuff. It sounds complicated. It sounds like it wouldn't work real well, but it actually did work pretty decent. And it was really fun to play online against other people that way.
Only one I remember seeing was you having MW3 for the Wii, but like you said, we mainly just chose to play it on the 360 opposed to the Wii. So I knew it
Right.
existed. I just
Yeah.
didn't play it, and let alone play it online in the first place. Because I mean, shoot, I don't even think I had internet, like good internet, to play online until the Xbox One era.
And that was questionable.
I mean, fortunate, yeah. So even when I was playing online on the 360, it was still terrible internet. But with the Xbox One, that's when we was like, oh yeah, no, the internet just sucks now.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
old Frontier.
Frontier. I don't know how they're still in business. But I mean, Suddenlink's not much better anymore. But yeah, they were a good time. I never played any Call of Duty on the DS. I've seen people play Modern Warfare 3, but I've never played it. I don't know how actually good it is.
It seems like it would be a little rough, especially on the neck.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, especially playing on two screens. I don't know how they, manage that. If the map was on the bottom, that'd be pretty cool to have the mini map the whole bottom screen.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they pulled it off. I'm really surprised Call of Duty even came to the DS at all.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm going to say at this point, it's for the DS had to crawl for the Switch to be able to walk and run with Call of Duty's on its system when they finally release.
Yeah, but you think
'Cause it's
the
portable.
DS was powerful enough to run Call of Duty? The Switch is. I mean, I know
Oh, yeah,
the Call of
definitely.
Duties have definitely gone up in graphics and power, but I mean, still.
The Switch's biggest issue with it is going to be download size.
Download size and people's gonna. I mean, you're not gonna be able to run it at 60 frames natively.
Right.
Now through the cloud, if you play a cloud version, yeah, you can run at 60 frames. But if they have it natively, like people are wanting them to, it's gonna run 30 frames.
Yeah, but it's also the same issue you run into with like the Fortnite situation. Because I mean, once you hop onto the if you're playing Fortnite on Switch and hop over to the Xbox 360, I personally can't tell the difference between
I can't
60
either.
frames and 30.
Now,
So I mean,
if something happens and you're playing, say I was playing Black Ops 2 the other day on my handheld PC, and it's 60 frames per second. And I hooked it to my TV. After going from playing it on that same system, handheld, 60 frames, to the TV, 30 frames, because for some reason, when I dock it to my TV, it runs 30 frames, but when I dock it to my monitor, it still runs 60. I don't know why, but yeah, I could tell a difference. It's not really a difference in the gameplay itself, it's controlling it. Like,
oh yeah,
the controller, like, I couldn't aim as well. Now, if I would have done it long enough to get used to it, yeah, I could have. But going from 60 frames, how the sensitivity is kind of hard to adjust to anyway, especially in the older Call of Duties. And then that adds to it if you're going to 30 frames per second.
I mean, I say you could tell a difference if, even if you went from doing that to hopping onto the Xbox and doing it, you'd be able to tell a difference at that point too. I think it's just going from the same thing, like pretty much back to back or almost instantaneously. Yeah, you're going to tell a difference. But if you
Yeah.
turn off the system for a little bit, you're not going to be able to tell a
Oh,
difference, I
no.
don't think.
No. But doing it back to back,
Yeah,
yes. But I mean, even playing Fortnite, like I can get an easy 120 frames on my PC on Fortnite. But playing on Fortnite 120 frames, then going to my Switch, I mean, yeah, you can see the slowdown, but I can still control it fine. Like, it's not something I can't adjust to. And I don't mind playing on the Switch at all. But some people, that's a deal breaker. 30 frames is a deal breaker for a lot of people.
Yeah, which, like I said, I don't quite understand, because if you're just looking at it actively, like I said, unless you're doing something like you did in your case, you're not going to be able to tell the difference.
Right, like we played 2K for years on Xbox, 60 frames per second. We switched to the Switch, and it only runs 30, and I honestly can't tell the difference. Now, if we'd play it back to back, like we said, probably, but it's not that much of an issue, especially with a game like that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically if our builds, though, not really. I mean, I know you make a shooter build once a year, but I guess technically, unless you're shooting the ball, because like me, I'm just a rebounding, defender,
Yeah,
basically. So, defense is my only thing. So I can occasionally dunk the ball if I'm wide open, or just pretty much defense. So, like I said, a build like mine, you're not gonna be able to tell the difference
no,
between 60. Well, shoot, even from 30 to 120 frames per second, you're probably not gonna be able to tell a difference.
no, there's not a whole lot going on that needs really timing or anything.
Well, like I said, as far as that goes, if you're shooting all the time, then yeah, you're probably going to tell a big difference in between it. But
Yeah,
like I
but
said, most of
I mean,
your
I've made a shooter on the Switch before, and as
yeah,
long as I'm hardwired, it relies more on internet than it does frames.
yeah, like I said, most of the time it's just me rebounding the ball and you're cherry picking down the court, anyways.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Nintendo's record-breaking quarter.
I got rearrange real quick. Hold on, let me go down through here. Or I didn't see that one.
You didn't see that one?
Hold on. So
It was from last week, if that helps.
it should, but for whatever reason, it deleted.
Oh, well, I'll cover it. I got your back.
I'll throw my comment whenever I get my turn again.
Okay. All right. It says The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has shipped more than 18.5 million copies since its May 12th launch, selling 15.7 million to consumers in its first 8 weeks of release. Nintendo announced this week Nintendo posted an operating profit of 185.4 billion yen, which is 1.3 billion US dollars, nearly double that a year ago, thanks largely to the strong game sales and one big movie. The company says it also tripled its revenue from mobile and intellectual property licenses to 31.8 billion yen, which is 223 million US dollars, which it credited to April launch of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Nintendo's Switch hardware sales were slightly up from spring 2022, from 3.4 million to 3.9 million devices, but the company is forecasting a console sales down. I can't even read. Sales slow down as the Switch winds through its 7th year and an unannounced successor console looms as soon as late 2024. So they had a really good quarter, especially if you compare it to a year ago this time. And I mean, Switch sales are still going up. They predict that they're going to go down, which is kind of obvious. I mean, there's only so many people to sell a Switch to, and there's already over 120 some million sold, so that kind of comes with it.
In between all the different variations there is now. But yeah, I mean, I expected that quarter to go way up for one, the movie releasing. That helped out tremendously, which I finally got to watch it. It finally came to Peacock.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it's on Peacock now.
Huh. I didn't know it was on
Which
there
I
yet.
figured it would.
I knew it would be eventually, but I didn't know if it was on there yet.
August 3rd is when it came out to it.
Oh.
I finally just sat down and watched it last weekend.
Pretty good.
But of course, from April to June, you had obviously the Mario movie. Then you had Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Coming out
with those two together, that equals a lot of money.
Yeah. So that's two major ones right now, right there, been right there at the end of. Well, no, it was the end of July is when Pikmin came out, so it'll be a whole different quarter.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you count this
so
whole year, I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm only counting the record-breaking quarter, which
yeah,
I doubt they'll have anything close to that until they put out a new console
right.
or they come out with either a sequel to a movie or another big. I don't know. Mario game coming out in what is it? September
October.
is when Wonder comes out. October.
Yep.
So in October, being a Mario game, they'll probably have a pretty decent quarter on the last quarter. No, it would be this quarter we're actively on because it'd be July to October.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this Mario coming out is going to be the only chance of it passing up, which is I don't think it's going to pass up, but that'd be the only chance they come close to this year breaking quarter wise.
Unless we, I mean, I doubt it, but unless we get a shadow drop on Metroid 4, Prime 4, but even then, that's doubtful. So,
No, because they got a huge player base, but they don't got anything compared to a Mario or a Zelda player base.
unless they shadow drop Wind Waker and Twilight Princess for the Switch, which is very doubtful too. Because they'll probably save that for next year.
Yeah. Even though I somehow lost the topic, I still managed to throw it in there.
That's right. All right, we'll move on. Game Boy and Nintendo 64, August 2023 game updates.
All right, so I guess the Pokemon trading card game is available now as part of the Game Boy Nintendo Switch online library, and Pokemon Stadium 2 is available for players with the Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pass membership as part of the Nintendo 64 library. It's it's just read, yeah. Trying to get the words out of my head here. For one, I didn't know Pokemon trading card game existed.
You didn't?
I had no idea. No, I didn't. I was like, holy world, what is that going on here? I knew Pokemon.
At Sleep Outfitters Outlet, great sleep is a big deal. Save 40 to 60% every day on every Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. Queens as low as $249. Customer exchanges, closeouts, and floor samples. Inventory changes daily, so come in for your dream deal today. With no credit needed financing, expert advice, and up to 60% off retail, it's never been easier to get the sleep and savings you deserve. Go to sleepoutfittersoutlet.com for financing details and to find a store near you.
Stadium existed because obviously that's where they based the maps for Smash Brothers.
Right.
But the trading card game, which I knew about the actual trading cards.
Right, but a trading card game about trading card game.
Yeah, that's what threw me off. Which I mean, that interests me to a point. I'll play them for a bit, and then I'll just stop. Like the Duel Links for the Yu-Gi-Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've done that for a while. Like occasionally I'll hop back on there, I'll delete it, then I'll download it again a few years down the road because I think it's been out for about 8 years at this point.
Yeah, I've played it off and on before, more off than on, but the Pokemon trading card game. This is the Game Boy version, but they actually have like an Android and iPhone, and I think even an actual Switch version. So you can download it on your phone and play.
Yeah, it came out a couple months ago.
Yeah. But I've never played the Game Boy version. I didn't know there was a Game Boy version, but I've heard of the Pokemon trading card game on your phone.
Yeah. But I knew about that part, but I could have worded that better, like how you worded it.
Yeah, I didn't know the Game Boy version existed. But Pokemon Stadium 2, I mean, like you said, we know about it because of Super Smash Brothers. But I've never played it, but I've heard a lot of people online say that it's a really good game and it's a very loved Pokemon game, like most of them are. So you guys can go check out those two games that are now on Nintendo Switch Online, and if you have the expansion pass.
I don't know, the one I had when we still had the expansion pass, the one I thought was kind of weird was the Pokemon Snap, where you would go through and just take pictures of Pokemon while you was going on whatever little adventure it was.
That was a really popular game for some reason back in the day, and they made a second one for the Switch a year or two ago, and it went really well. Like, it sold pretty decent for what it is. I don't know why people like taking pictures of stuff, but they do.
Oh, I guess Niantic's are down to try about anything now because they even got a Pokemon Sleep app.
Yeah,
It judges your sleep, and then I guess you get certain Pokemon by how you slept. I don't know.
that makes no sense to me. Honestly, like, that makes no sense.
I hear Niantic, you need to know how I'm sleeping.
You don't need to know how I'm sleeping. You need to find something to make a better game.
Instead of just pretty much reskinning and updating graphics and adding in a couple new Pokemon.
Yeah. All right. The Red Dead Redemption port has been announced.
Yeah, it's announced for 2024. Uh, since 2021, fans have been asking for a remaster, but I think this will play out like the GTA trilogy definitive edition, since it was all buggy and everything whenever they decided to port those three over all in the, obviously it was one game, but it was what, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, you're getting free games for the thing, but Red Dead Redemption is a whole lot bigger game than those free games combined. Because
Yeah.
it's more, obviously, it's a Rockstar game, so it's going to be more open world based, anyways. But uh, I think they would have done better to do a remake or a remaster opposed to porting it,
Yeah.
in
Me
my
too.
opinion. But, I guess the fans are getting something from it. Never played a Red Dead. I've always wanted to play it. I've had ample opportunity to download on the Xbox or whatever. I just never have felt like it. Like, I know the ending to it and everything, but what gamer doesn't?
Right. Yeah, so it says Take-Two Interactive and Rockstar Games announced that Red Dead Redemption and zombie add-on Undead Nightmare is being ported to Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4. And while that may have been cause for celebration for many in the fan base, others took issue with its $50 price point, especially considering its missing multiplayer and a PC release. Plus, it's already playable on the Xbox Series X in 4K, and thanks to Xbox Series X/S, backwards compatibility has been accessible on Microsoft platforms for years. So, yeah, I'm everybody online's like, where's the PC port? Where's the PC release? You cannot play this game on PC natively without. I've played it on mine through an Xbox 360 emulator, but like just getting it on Steam or any other place, you just can't. It's not available. So a lot of people thought they kind of messed this up and blew their chance for a PC port, because you can get Red Dead 2 on PC, but not Red Dead 1.
Nah, it's the Ratchet and Clank of its time. It
Yeah,
will only run on the Xbox. That's the only thing can handle it.
that's right. Yeah. Like, I mean, they came close. Just take this PlayStation 4 port, make the graphics a little bit better, and port it over to PC. It doesn't have to be a 4K version. It just needs to be at least 1080p, and people will be happy, because it is an old game from like what, 2005 or something, somewhere in
I'll
there,
fact check. In
2007,
2010.
10, maybe.
I was thinking it was
It might be newer
because
than I think.
I think there was I think there was almost a 10-year gap in between, because 19 is when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out.
I was just throwing a number out there. It might be newer than I think, because the original was Red Dead Revolver, but then Red Dead Redemption, and then now Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, May 18th, 2010.
2010. Yeah. Okay, it's newer than I thought, but still, either way, it's an older game, so you don't need, like, the
I was
graphics
off
aren't
on
going to be that
2.
great.
It came out.
Game, what was it?
I said I was off on 2. It came out in 18, but Red Dead Revolver came out in 2004.
Okay, that's what I was thinking of then. Was the original Red Dead Revolver. But either way, Red Dead Redemption, it's still an older game. It's 20 I mean, it's 13 years old at this point, so it doesn't need to have the best graphics, just make it 1080p and bring it to PC, people will be happy. But I mean, people complain, companies complain, oh, you shouldn't do emulation. But here's another good reason for emulation. How else are you going to play this on a PC platform without emulation? You can't, because they're not doing it.
Yeah.
But yep. And what do you think about the $50 price tag?
I mean, for it being a port, that is definitely high.
Yeah, I'd say
You know,
$30.
like I said, yeah, I would say 30, 25 in that range, especially since I mean, shoot back even Xbox I think occasionally has deals on it where it drops below 10.
I
So
mean, I've seen Red Dead 2 for PC like $8 recently.
yeah.
So I mean,
I mean, it's just one of those things that's I mean, if you want the game that bad, you're going to pay $50 for it, but at
I
the
don't
end of
want
the
it
day,
that
I'm not
bad.
going to I don't want it that bad.
No, I'll
Especially like I
emulate
said,
it for free
yeah.
on my PC.
Plus, like I said, I already know the ending of it, so what's the sense of me playing it
Yeah,
for $50 anyways?
that's Rockstar for you. Wanting more money.
Yep.
They're as bad as
They
2K,
try.
which Take Two. They're here too. 2K's here too.
Yeah.
Take Two and Rockstar. There you go. All right, Nintendo files multiple patents for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom mechanics.
Yeah, which is, I mean, I see what they're trying to do with it, but the fact as gaming as a whole, it's kind of a butthole move to do. Uh, but they filed patents for Tears of the Kingdom mechanics, automation. Uh, yeah, okay. Automation is the site I got it from. Is that focuses on Japanese games like Zelda. Has a roundup of 32 patents Nintendo put forth. I don't think I have all 32 here, but they definitely put out 32, and some aren't really that important. Like they're like very mundane stuff,
Yeah,
but they're patents on like I said. At the end of the day, I don't think they're going to be able to do anything in court with some of these patents if a game was to copy it. But some of them are specific to like Link's latest adventure, including Riju's lightning ability, like how you can target or do like an area attack. Spoiler if you haven't played the game at all yet. I don't know any of the Sage abilities, which I don't guess I'm sure telling the story is just telling you her ability, but she
right.
shoots lightning. Like Link will shoot an arrow and then
Oh yeah,
wherever the arrow is, it can either do splash damage if there's like a pile of enemies around, or you can do one specific straight attack on the enemy itself and do more damage.
it's like
Uh
Urbosa's Fury, except you need an arrow.
yes. And it's not technically a charge attack type of situation.
Right.
I use if I would the main reason why I used Riju whenever I was doing my playthrough was mainly in the deaths, just because she's pretty much a free light source, and it don't run out because it just she'll illuminate like with a lightning cloud, like a circle thing, and
Yeah.
then you can just see her with it, and it'll go like up on cliffs or whatever, so you can see if you're going to run into stuff when it's dark. That's mainly what I used it for, but
Nice.
uh the weirder ones are related to the baseline game design and coding that applies to plenty of other, like I said, video games on the market. So it's going to be kind of hard for Nintendo to win it in court.
Right.
Uh, one of the patents relates to the physics of the characters riding on top of the moving vehicle and reacting dynamically to it in a realistic manner. So instead of like whenever Link's on a vehicle, how he's like actually moving with the thing instead of pretty much being a still
Yeah.
figure on thing like it is in portrayed in other games. It's just one of those things like minor details where the character can move while they're doing stuff.
Right.
Because generally, like I said, in games, you can put them in first person. You can see your steering wheel turn a little bit. type of situation. 'Cause that's just the best logic I have to use for this type of pattern. So that's, like I said, that's one of those things where you'd be like, oh, okay, so you're saying racing games can't go into first person mode anymore?
Yeah. See, I mean, they had all kinds of weird ones, like the loading screen. I mean, it's not really a spoiler because it's a loading screen, but you know how when the loading screen, if you teleport to somewhere, it takes your location on the map and moves it to another location on the map.
Mm-hmm.
They patent that.
Yeah.
I see. That's just generic stuff. Like I don't understand why other games can't use that. That's not even something that like is Zelda related. It's just a map. I mean, I understand if they'd use Hyrule Map, but you know, that's not what they patent. They just patent that specifically, moving locations on a loading screen.
Yeah, it's just, like I said, some of the stuff they put out patents on just made absolutely no sense. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you're just going to go to court and lose it. So, therefore, you lose your court fees and everything else just to try to get someone to stray away from what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't get.
Which I know they mainly lay patents in for people to try for copycat games, basically. That's what the patents are pretty much laid down there. Any video game company will do once there is. But I think that's mainly what they're going for, is that way you can't really copycat Tears of the Kingdom down to the extent of what people would try to.
Right.
But that's at the same time, how, speaking of like Mario games and stuff, just like switch genres for a second. If they was to try to patent a Mario game because of the platformer, what every platformer would technically be a quote unquote copycat at that point.
Yeah.
Even though they do different things. It's just you can't really do that from a wide variety. To make a blatant copycat is a whole different thing, and they would win at that point. But that's really the only thing they're going to be able to win in court is if somebody makes a direct copycat, which would be hard to do in the first place.
Right. And I mean, yeah, there's copycat Zeldas out there like Tunic. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I mean, it's kind of a copycat of Zelda, but it's legal and they say it's a really good game. So it's not just a junk indie game that's trying to make it look like Zelda to get a quick buck, but like it's a really good game. So, but Tears of the Kingdom, with it being open world, like that's gonna be hard to duplicate.
Yeah, technically one of the topics we're not going to get to today, which we'll cover next week, is technically a ripoff of a Zelda game as well.
Oh, yeah.
But like I said, you guys will have to tune in next week to figure out what it is.
Yeah, because we're out of time as is right now. So we appreciate you guys for watching or listening, however. And you can always watch us live on Twitch and YouTube, always in the description. Join our Discord, chat with us, and follow us on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, our merch on Redbubble. Is that it?
I think that's it.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys for listening. We'll catch you next week.
All right. Later, guys.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projection for a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's as easy as that. If you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Easy gameplay, quick withdrawals, and injury insurance on your picks are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Ready to test your skills? Join the Prize Picks community of more than 7 million players who have already signed up. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/get100 and use code GET100. That's code GET100 at prizepicks.com/get100 for a first deposit matchup to $100. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.